So second time, huge comeback at home. How are you guys able to kind of not get negative, whatever, and stay with it?
I'm kind of like I said last time, we've just been here way too many times, more times than I would have liked to been. But we just know how to just play through. Like I said, like there's not a 15-point shot. We just have to take it possession by possession and go from there.
What did you think was like the specific thing in this game that was able to get you guys just kind of chip away, and get back at it?
I think our defense picked up a lot from the first to the second half. I think we were starting to get in the passing lanes, and we were kind of playing to their pace, and I think our defense picking up allowed them to speed up.
The last play, I know I was going to do, but the last possession, what was kind of the play? What were kind of the options?
It was Fernan, I believe, and we were just wanting to do what we do in our regular loop, and it was supposed to be like a sneak to the brim. She ended up getting her rebound, which was what we wanted.
You get so 3 slow starts so far. What is like the new system offensively and defensively? Like, do you think that has contributed to it? Or?
I do. I definitely do. We're just trying to figure it out, and we all know that good things take time. So I think it's going to take us a minute to be able to just get it off the go, and I think we always have to have time to settle in.
So it's only November 17th, still a lot of basketball left, but does like a win for this, can it like propel you forward? Just the second time going back from a big deficit, you do it in front of a big home crowd and everything, like do you feel like it creates positive momentum?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think we need any win we can get right now just because it's a new system. Like, we just need to see that what we're putting in is working, and so I definitely think a win was good for us, for sure.
What's like the emotions and like a big comeback like this?
I mean, obviously we're super excited. You got the win, that's what you wanted. I think it helps that this is no place we've never been before. We have a large group of seniors who have been down by however many before, and we've got comeback, and obviously any comeback win like that you're excited about, but we also know we got a lot to fix.
I know there was still an entire quarter left, but the shot at the end of the third quarter, do you think that does anything for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's anytime you get a good, I mean, coach calls it like a juiceful play or energy. It definitely, I think it gets the crowd going, it gets us going, and kind of carries us over from defense to offense then.
What was different defensively first half to second half, do you think?
I think just guarding the way we guard. They still have a lot to fix again, but I think we did a better job in the second half doing what we teach at practice and what we should be doing as opposed to the first half.
How much, you've all played 3 games, but like how much kind of easier does it become, like the repetition of the system and everything at each game?
It's a lot easier. I mean, we look at the first game, and I think we barely ran an offense. So now, even Iowa score wasn't what we wanted, but we ran more offense, and then we're continuing to get better. I mean, as we learn to play with each other, we don't want these slow starts. We got to get out of it. But as we continue to play with each other, I think it'll get better.
Some you had the and one play. Once you guys took the lead at that point, did it feel like you guys were kind of in control of things at that point?
I think just coming out, even the second half, I think we just had better energy all around. We were playing better as a team and getting those buckets and the stops that we needed. So then obviously, yes, that play was a little exciting, but it definitely carried us over there.
How big of a factor do you think the crowd plays in a game like this when maybe things aren't going your way, but they're continuing to be like energetic?
For sure. Our crowd's amazing. I mean, you get those big and one plays, and it doesn't hit the same unless it's in a loud gym like this. So to hear the crowd go crazy as well as my teammates, it just kind of brings that energy up, brings that juice up, and it's exciting.
What the final play, the game-winning basket, what was supposed to happen, I guess, and what was your mindset versus the ball winning, I guess?
I think it's just the fact that she has so much confidence in me is huge, right? She drew up that play, and it was to get something towards the basket for me. So it was just, it was a great play drawn up, and never give up on a play, right? I told our team, cut closer in a timeout, and I was like, expect everything to be a miss. If you expect a miss, that puts you in a better position for an offensive rebound.
What exactly happened on that inbound play then when it went off?
I think she stepped over the line. I don't know because I deflected it, and then I'm not 100% sure what happened. But as long as it was our ball, that's all that mattered.
Then do you feel like you're kind of the person on this team, like, you know, comes down to the end of it, like or there are multiple people on this team who could be like the person who takes the game-winning shot?
I think everybody's capable of doing that. I think my job as a teammate is just to bring that energy. So whatever my team needs, that's what I want to be for them. I could care less if I scored 0 points or however many points, but I just knew my job this game was to play defense and to lock her up, and she still managed to get 18, heck of a player. But my goal was just to get deflections and put our team in a better situation.
Yeah, no, super proud of the fight from our young women tonight. Incredibly impressed with the poise down the stretch. There were too many times when I looked up tonight and saw 2 sophomores and a freshman on the floor. But I do have tremendous confidence in this team to go out and execute. You know, you want some experience on the court going down the stretch, and we had that as well. Really proud of that. Proud of the leadership of our seniors stepping up. And then sometimes it's hard to listen in this environment, which is a good thing. It's hard to hear, but I thought our freshmen listened and our sophomores listened and gave us some huge moments down the stretch. But there's a tremendous amount of fight in this team. It's the blue-collar gold standard, and we want to keep that tradition going. And, you know, high five, shout out, big love to the 6th man tonight. It was incredibly fun.
What did you think kind of got you back in this game? Was there a single moment? Because it's not like it was just when the second half started. You got down 14 and then kind of made the run at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yeah, I thought we started getting stops, and then we're allowed to, you know, it allows us to play with some pace. It allows us to get out and do what we do. Just talked with Mr. Heller about just having that one player on the floor that can get us organized, whether it's Nan at the 5, you know, Sammy at the 4, Kira at the 3, you know, getting that point guard rotation figured out and figuring out who, you know, gets us in our spots and gets us organized. Yeah, I was honest with Sammy at halftime. She had taken 2 field goals in the first half. You know, we need more from her. I don't think she knows how good she is. She's got the ability, and Kira Goss as well. You know, they've kind of done their job for the last 3-4 years, and now their job is to take that scoring lead. And I was so proud of how they stepped up and did a really fantastic job of carrying the weight the second half.
What's I don't know. What's it like to? I mean, you've had 2 home games so far. People have just been these ridiculous comebacks. What's it been like to kind of experience the environment and just the, I don't know, up and down emotions?
I try to stay calm. I don't know if it looks like it out there, while still making sure we understand the urgency that's required to compete at a high level. We are Toledo, and the tradition here is so great that people are going to come in. We're going to get everyone's best game every single night. And I think we have to start to understand what is required on the defensive end. But this is a blast. I mean, this is why I came here. Women's basketball is important to the city of Toledo. It's important to the University of Toledo. And this city is important to us. You know, we want to continue to put an elite product on the floor that you guys love coming to watch play.
How much are you, I mean, you've only played 3 games, it's mid-November right now, are you still learning like a ton of who to play when, how many minutes to dole out to people, like is it still kind of a mystery to you?
Absolutely, and I think, you know, one of the unintended challenges of, you know, playing those 2 tournaments is, you know, 9 games between the first game, 9 days between the first games, and so, you know, there's challenges in playing right away. There's challenges in waiting. That just is what it is. But really, our Iowa game felt like the first game because it had been 9 days, and so, you know, we've got some older players. We're trying to manage their legs and some restrictions to keep them healthy in February and March, and so it's hard to get in shape. It's hard to navigate those lineups and some of those things, but I'm proud of how they're figuring out a way to play together, and I'll keep doing the best I can to put them in spots to be successful. She did step out of bounds. So we deflected the ball into her arm, and she was on the line. So that's what happened at the end. I heard that question. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Thank goodness.
Going back to Nan, you were part of the process.
I was. I went down to Jeffersonville a couple times, and then unfortunately she tore ACL coming into Penn State. She was coming off that knee, and that was during COVID. And so, you know, Nan's been a tremendous player, and I think the most important thing she said, you heard it at the end, and it's the truth. She's an incredible teammate. She just wants this team to have success, and on any given night, whatever she needs to do, she'll step up and do it. You know, we got that sneak for her, so that fake handoff where she drove in the early on, and then we went back to it at the end. They ended up busting it up, and she came back and made a play, and yeah, that's just the faith I have in these players. It could have been anybody on any given night. I felt like we'd done a good job of the pace of kind of wearing them down toward the end, and I trust our rebounding down the stretch.
How much, I mean, maybe not as much now, you've been there for several months, but like in the beginning, the familiarity that both of you guys had with each other, did that help each of you in the transition?
Sure, yeah, and, again, she was kind of nursing an injury this summer that limited some things, and so I kept saying, I can't wait till we get Nan back and get her healthy and get her fit and ready to go, but she presents a mismatch problem, and we have Hannah and Jess as well, and I know when their number's called and it's like it was at Marshall and we needed them and we need to pound it inside, we'll do that too. They're just ready to step up when their number's called, and it's amazing.
The first half defensive struggles, the 3 games, like how much of that do you think is they're trying to filter through a lot of information of having a new coach, a new system, and everything, and it's difficult at the beginning?
I think there's those things, and I'm certainly not making any excuses. All 3 teams we've played also had new head coaches. So we didn't really know what was coming, especially for Marshall. We didn't know if they were going to zone us. We didn't know if they were going to man us. We were trying to go off of what they'd done in the past. The 2 games that Iowa had played, they were fronted, so they were pounded it inside. Well, we played behind, and we hadn't seen those splits because nobody had played behind yet. So that was, the play after the play. And so just some of those preparation things I think will be revealed as we get further along into the season, but super proud of how they fought. Northern Kentucky, let's give them credit where credit's due. They're a feisty squad. They're well coached. They can shoot it. They can go inside. And, they're really balanced.
The role of some of the first-year players, like Kendall had the clutch 3 there to tie at the end, and Destiny had to steal what are their kind of roles on this team?
Those things, and I think we've all heard it before. I think freshmen want to come in and impact a game the way that they've impacted it their whole career, on that offensive end. But we're really encouraging them and challenging them to figure out the defensive end and then continue to play and structure with the really good players around them. You saw them do that in the second half tonight. And then what resulted in that was not only Toledo's success, but their own success. And then Destiny's a competitor. She didn't like to play before, and she went and made a play after. So she got that pick 6 and took it to the house, which was good.
Just one more thing. How much easier do you think it gets for everyone in the program, just each game you play?
I think a lot easier. They understand my energy, our staff's communication. I thought we had a great second half as a staff as well, and Coach Jackie Scout tonight made some really good adjustments that were important on the defensive end. And so hopefully it continues to get easier and easier, and we get more in shape and more in shape, and we get layered in our offense too. So the longer we play, the more we can add, and the more people throw different things at us with the switches or the top blocks or the chases or whatever it might be, we can add the next layer in the counter to that. Which, just like Iowa hadn't got to it yet, we haven't either. So it's a building process, but at the end of the day, players make plays. That walk-in 3 that Kendall Carruthers made was incredible. Some of the defensive stops that we made, just too many to count. And like you said, our young kids, Brady and Casey and Destiny and Faith, they're going to be really fun to watch for a long time.
What were your thoughts at halftime?
We need to play harder. We play harder and we play more connected. And one of my philosophies is out-team the other team. And I think this team has had such a tremendous amount of success, and the incoming freshmen have had such a tremendous amount of success learning what that means and how to impact the team without getting selfish. We don't have a selfish player in our locker room. They're tremendous players. But there were some moments where we got off script and did some things that didn't help Toledo, and so we tried to tighten that up. And then again, on the defensive end, all 5 of us should be guarding the basketball. For them to come into our house and have 44 points in the paint, just not pleased with that. And so we talked about what's going to be required night in and night out on the defensive end to be successful.